Look at here, look at here. Take a close look at this picture. Anything off to you? Look at that fingerprint reader. It looks a little lower than usual. It's lower than the door handle. Door handles are typically 36 inches. ADA compliance is a minimum of 34 inches. That's looking a little lower than that. Well, what is the ideal height for a fingerprint reader? Let's take a look. Okay, here we are at FBI.gov, and you are asking why. Well, let me show you how we could help you. And we scroll down to law enforcement, go to the science and lab information, and then we go down to biometrics and fingerprints, and then we go further to biometrics, and if we scroll down we could see recording legible fingerprints. And why did we drill so deep down in this page? Let me show you. To show you this one thing right here. The recommended height for recording legible fingerprints is approximately 39 inches from the floor. But here at the Quatermain, the FBI is called Fingerprint Bamboozle Institute. So where does that bathroom fingerprint reader clock in at? 32 inches. Couldn't even make it ADA compliant. What the freak? And do you know why it's 32 inches? Me either. It's a freaking mystery. But you know what? If we had a specification, this wouldn't have happened. If anyone bothered to look at what Blunders was doing, it wouldn't have happened. If permits were pulled on this job, it wouldn't have happened. So that reader clocks in 7 inches lower than what is deemed to be ideal. Now it's turning into a game show called What's Wrong with This Picture? Look at here, look at here. What do we got? This is the Catania entrance by the lower pool. You can see that door handle is our reference point, right? But look what's near it, the facial recognition reader. And that's, what, maybe a little bit higher than the door handle? Let's see, the average height of an American man is 5 feet 9 inches, and for a woman, 5 feet 4 inches. And the distance between the eyes and the top of the head is on average about 5 inches. So the ideal height for a facial recognition reader is about 5 feet, even, which is 60 inches. Take another look at that picture. How high do you think that is from the ground? Come on, it's a game show. Time's the ticket. 60? 55? 50? Do I hear higher? Lower? Come on, guess. Break out your bingo card. How high is it? Well, let's find out. It clocks in at 46 inches. 14 inches below ideal. People are crouching there. Are you kidding me? And do you know why it's 46 inches? Well, I don't either. No one knows because they're just doing it. Because there is no spec. Because no one double-checked their work. Because they're doing whatever they want. It looks like it was positioned to originally install a fingerprint reader and then change their mind. And remember who this is coming from. Blunders, who hand wrote on the proposal. Details of the scope of work will follow. And when I asked Blunders, where is that scope of work? He's like, well, what do you mean? I just write that on every proposal. So let me ask you, when you're done with a day at the beach, or you're done with a swim in that pool that's a little warmer than usual.
It's Mountain Dew. I didn't pee in anything.
And you head back to your home in Catania, do you think it's normal that you gotta crouch down like 1.5 feet just to get in your home? Are you kidding me? But that's what the bamboozle got you. They couldn't even roll that out right. It is a blunder, a biometric blunder. We got a bonus round for you home gamers for the latest Quatermain game show called What's Wrong with This Picture? But first, take a look at the fabulous prizes you could win.
This cozy den, including oak and cane wall units. This fun garden patio, including a mahogany fun tub for 2. This fabulous gold bracelet watch. And just look at this great 1976 station wagon.
Let's take a look. All right, there's that door handle for reference, and we see a fingerprint reader over the right. And wow, it's actually higher than the door handle for a change. That's progress. We see a little intercom there. Can anyone guess what's wrong with the picture? Too high, too low, just right? Anyone? You getting it yet? Are you getting it yet? Think about it. This is an entrance door between the business center and the office. But I thought the towers were supposed to be facial recognition only. You know, the highest form of security, so you couldn't hand a card to someone else and possibly get into the buildings for all those illegal renters. So I ask you, what the heck is a fingerprint reader doing there for a Valencia building? Come on, Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of the point of the biometric bamboozle? Yet another blunder. So all Valencia Tower is now breached with a lesser security. Some might argue maybe not, because now we have picture badge IDs. Who's ever going to ask for that picture? And there could almost be a point, because we see in some cases the pictures have been used to be enrolling people's face without their knowledge or consent.
Fail.
Yet one more bungled blunder from the rec office. But even worse, this disenfranchises unit owners in Grenoble, held to a different standard than Valencia under the same association. It's all a blunder. It's all bullshit. It's all a bamboozle.
Oh, come on!
Wake up, people. Is this what you really want? Do you really believe this is leadership? Do you really believe this is planning? Do you really believe anyone knows what the freak is going on? And they still don't know what's going on, even if you flat out told them, in which I did a week after that October 25th meeting. And I sent an email playing ball, asking us to send our email to office@Quatermain.Rec, which I did on November 3rd, a week later. Addressed it as instructed to the QRA board to forward it to all rec board members. None answered. None. Where was Marla? Out to lunch again. She never answers anything. And if she does, she just makes it up on the fly anyway, so would it even matter? So I try to bring to their attention that there was an unexamined feature of the installed BioStation 3 that we should explore that enables biometric mobile access control as an option for those sensitive to where their data is stored. The features allow one to store their face on their own phone, so it does not go to rec or an external database. We didn't need any of it. We did not need centralized enrollment. All of it was unnecessary. The 2-hour lines for a month now going on, the fear, the panic, the confusion, the insanity, all of it was unnecessary. I provided links with everything, even this excerpt here about their authentication method called Face Template on Mobile, which is still viable to this day. It lets users enroll into an access control system and store their face profile directly on their own mobile device. It gives the users complete control over their own ID and their privacy. The data is not stored in the company database or the rec database or any database. That did send a copy of this email to my own board, and 2 of the 7 members answered, and one was saying, hey, we're going to look into it, get back to you. But that board member got bad information from Bluenecks. A few days later, board member called and said, we can't do it for a few reasons. It relies on the cloud, and there's no control over the faces that you enroll. Both are incorrect. And even though I believe that board member was being straight up and just passing information along, that board member got bamboozled by Bluenecks. The reason I know this is because I've spent hours on the phone with technical support with Suprema to find out for myself what is going on. And when they reference the cloud, it is not about fingerprints. It is not about facial recognition. There is a single one-time to an API endpoint in the cloud. All the office had to do is that they're going to issue something to you. The only thing that goes up there is your first, last name, and an email address. The whole point of it is to send you a custom link with the unique ID to convert your phone into an RFID card. You get that link, and it is tied to the physical phone. It is tied to the physical number. And if you lost the phone or changed your number, you have to reissue anyway. And it could only work for one face only. And with that link, when you went with your phone and tapped it at the BioStation 3, it would ask you to enroll your face. You didn't have to go to the office. You could have been in charge of your own data. It would have never have gone to the cloud. All the hype was bullshit. They kept steering them to their current solution that they had. They didn't care enough about the alternatives. And it's all predicated on control. The same way they couldn't trust you to put your own vehicle decal on, they don't trust you to handle your own stuff. They're all about centralized control and planning. This was all a waste of time. They still don't know what's going on. They still don't even have a clue that this would have been a viable alternative that would have saved everyone all the trouble and the suffering and the time. And they treat us like children, like they're the principal of a school perhaps. Not to be trusted to put a decal in your own car, not to be trusted to enroll your own face in your own tower. And how can you continue to trust the office that's bungled everything? An office that won't release any documents that you request. an office without a manager, an office with a staff that can't even have full autonomy because they can't do anything without permission from the one-eyed queen, an office that violated the privacy rights of unit owners who only wanted a picture badge and not participate in this facial recognition system, but they were enrolled without their consent anyway. In this rec office, there is zero backstop, there is zero accountability. This board chose Marlem out of convenience because they're too lazy to do the work and she was willing to do it. But they didn't realize they all got on board a runaway train. And some of them get it or willing to jump off and take their chances because they know the end of the line is coming. It's around the corner. They thought they could control it, they thought they could ride it, and they can't even stop it. And after all of this evidence, the fantasy math and ballet, the lack of any building permits, still lying to this day claiming the prior board voted for biometrics, which is a complete lie because she's not willing to own her own choices. And after all of this, you are still willing to vote for her. You're either so high on her Kool-Aid or dumber than a bag of rocks. And on that note, wishing you a great day ahead.